Hello and welcome to the first lesson in this chapter, which is on measures of location and spread. We're looking at data analysis here, which is a really important life skill. And measures of location and spread are two of the most powerful tools we have. So measures of location, that's things like averages and quartiles. So we're going to look at a range of different averages, think about how to calculate them in all sorts of different ways, talk about the pros and cons of each. We're also going to talk about how data is spread out. So the difference between clustered data and spread out data and how we can quantify this. In this first video, we're looking at something which is probably very familiar to you, which is calculating the mean average. It's worth going back to basics here, however, because it's going to get quite tricky quite soon. And if we're really solid on the foundations, it's going to make the next steps quite a lot easier. All right, let's have a look at this question. So the daily income of a small local shop was recorded for a week. Calculate the average daily income for this shop. Okay, well, I imagine you know how to do this. For the mean average, we add up all the numbers and we divide by how many there are. So in this case, we're adding up these 7 numbers. When you add these up, you get 2,861, and we're dividing by 7 because there were 7 days in that week, as there are in all weeks. When you do this, you get 408.71, and I'll give my answer rounded to two decimal places because we're dealing with money here. So the average daily income was £408.71. All right, no problem there. Let's introduce a little bit of terminology here because the terminology at A-level is a little different from what it is at GCSE. All right, so let's just break down what we did here. We added up all of our data. Now, here's the terminology for this. There's a symbol, this is a capital sigma, Greek letter sigma, that stands for the sum of. Now, most often we write the sum of x, and we think of these as being our x terms. Now, we could really use any letter here. For example, if we could use the letter M for money, and then we would say the sum of M. But as it is, x is fine. And then we divided by the number of terms, and we usually use n to stand for the number of terms. So sigma x just means the sum of all of your terms, and n is just the number of terms there were. And in our case, sigma x, the sum of x, when you added everything up, was 2,861, and n was 7, and that's what led to this calculation here. Okay, so hopefully no real issues there. Let's have a look at another example, and the next example highlights why we do need to be a little bit careful when we're working out averages, and that mean is not always the best one to use. So, the ages of 10 people in a classroom was recorded. Calculate the mean age, that's the first thing to do, and why might the mean not be a useful average in this instance? Okay, so we know what we need to do, which is we need to find the sum of all of the terms and divide by the number of terms. So in this case, the sum of all of the terms, if you add all of these numbers up, is 180. And there were 10 terms, so we divide by 10 and we get an average of 18. Now another little bit of terminology here. Frequently we write the mean as this. So that's pronounced x bar, or just the average of x. So remember, we often describe our data values as x values, so that the sum of x is the sum of all of our data points, and then x bar is often how we write the average of those data points. All right, so why might the mean not be a useful average in this instance? Okay, so what's happening in this classroom? Well, you've got 9 children who are 13 or 14, and then 1 adult who's 61. Now, we've got this average of 18, and it's basically a bit confusing, because if you're told that the average age of a group of people is 18, you might expect people to be about 18, and yet no one is 18 in the classroom. Everyone is either 13 or 14 or 61. We're going to talk about this more later on in the course, but that 61-year-old is what we call an outlier. They're a long way away from everyone else. Now, what do we actually want to achieve with an average? We want a sense of what's a normal value. Well, 18 is not a normal age in this group. So means can be a little bit confusing. One of the things we'll see later on is that when your data set includes large outliers like this one does, the mean is often a little bit misleading. In the next few videos, we're going to explore other averages like the median, and these actually can be more useful in situations like this, but we'll come to that in due course.